We now take you to this story. The newly announced movement, Change Starts Now, led by Roger Jardine, is gathering at Constitutional Hill today to discuss its policies and to lay out its offering to South Africa. Let's now take you there live.
As you read a statement crafted by a deceitful governing party, I believe I share this sentiment with millions of South Africans, at home and abroad. But we know the people are not easily fooled. They were certainly not fooled by your breezy recitations of the gains of South Africans courtesy of your government. Your commentary was shameless and displayed a stunning lack of self-awareness of the universal decline across every economic and social metric. Your address, Mr. President, I'm sad to say, was akin to a desperate salesman making a despairing and outlandish pitch to peddle a similar but lousier product to a dubious and frustrated consumer. In your speech, you said that we must separate those who are able to govern this country from those who can't. I agree with you. And here is a sliver of reason, of the many reasons why your party and your government belongs to the past. Schools have just opened. Matrics are getting the results. Students will return to university in a few weeks' time. Here are some of the reasons why you are not fit to govern. As of 2021, 81% of grade 4 learners cannot read for meaning. We do worse than Kenya or Tanzania on international learning assessments. These are countries that are much poorer than South Africa. By the age of 18, experts estimate the average South African learner has received only 5.1 years of actual learning, even though they have spent almost double that time actually attending school. In the poorest 80% of schools, learners are on average 2.5 years behind the curriculum by the end of grade 3. In other words, they've only learned half the grade 1 curriculum in 3 years. Only 41% of grade 6 maths teachers in SA were found by an international test to have good proficiency in mathematics. We compare this to 87% in Zimbabwe and 95% in Kenya. But it is possible to turn this around. Fundamental reform can produce noticeable improvements in learners' performance within a very short period, 2 to 3 years, with a focus. And there are countries that have done it. Let's aim to get our learners to read for meaning. Let's ensure that our teachers are trained properly and incentivized properly to perform. Let's work hard to outperform in international benchmark tests, where we perform worse than our peers. With clear targets and objectives, and with the right people and the right policies, we can achieve incredible things. And for the sake of our children, think of the grade 1s yesterday. We must choose change. And our president needs to come out of hiding. Everyone talks about it. We have a president that hides. He is the absent father of this nation. He has not given a proper press conference befitting a leader of a country. He has told us many times that his party is more important than we the people, and it shows. And you see, you have everything to fear, because the masses of our people see the ANC today for what it is, a shadow of what it once was. I think it's time, Mr. President, to come out and debate the state of the nation on a platform for all to see, not just carefully curated, adoring crowds. And I'm quite certain, Mr. President, that you are acutely aware of carrying the unwanted burden of being a leader of a failed government, which has depressingly only gotten worse since your return to political office. You must agree with me. The party of selfless struggle has become the party of self-enrichment. And this has happened on your watch. And so I extend an invitation to you for a debate on our national condition and approaches to the crisis facing South Africa. Such a dialogue will definitely benefit all South Africans. And so I stand here today with a deep sense of purpose and commitment to something new. A South Africa that builds, that brings hope, solidarity, and progress. I ask you to join us in building an opposition strong enough to win the 2024 elections and to replace the current government. Our coalition must believe in our constitution and peaceful political action. We can show ourselves that change is possible. And coalitions must not be about sharing the spoils, about who gets what position. Coalitions are about sharing a vision for society and a program of policies and actions to improve the lives of our people. We must change our politics in order to change our country. And when we say change our politics, we mean end corruption, so that load shedding must end. Tenders for friends must end, so that when water and other services are provided, these contracts do not go to friends who have no clue about the task. When we say change our politics, we mean change our government. We will launch our manifesto to govern in the week of 19 February. But today we are sharing our vision for our society and continue to talk to South Africans from all walks of life. Last week in Soweto, I spoke to a person on the SASSA grant. He tells me he needs to renew his grant every 6 months. And so when that time comes, he wakes up at 4 a.m., he has an illness. They only see 80 patients a day. It sometimes takes him more than 5 days to get to the doctor. It does not have to be this way. We aim to stop the disease that has plagued our nation and steer South Africa towards a future. We have to stop this disease and steer South Africa to a future where the unemployed can find jobs, where the poor can escape their circumstances, where young people envision a prosperous future, where investors are drawn to our nation, where our firms expand, creating prosperity and jobs. Change starts now. South Africans, we have arrived at a fork in the road to our future. We can choose to remain mired and stuck in a ditch. And we can be stuck in this ditch after trying to evade a series of potholes that was once our paved path. Or we can choose the other path, the on-ramp. Picture the sign, the change lane. Let's all get into the change lane. This is the highway to the South Africa of our dreams, the South Africa that we want, the South Africa that we deserve. in conclusion, as a fellow citizen, because you see, we're all citizens. Sometimes we are just seen as voters. We are more than just voters. We are citizens. And our citizenry is active before and after an election. And so as a fellow citizen who believes in the potential of South Africa and its people, let's walk this journey together and be the change that we want to see. Together, let's build a South Africa that works and cares for all of its people. Thank you very much.